I'm Rajesh Uppal, Director IDST. We bring sharp insights and foresight on defense, security, and emerging tech. Let's dive in.
Let's take a moment and think about something we almost never notice until it fails. Cooling. It keeps our food fresh, our medicines safe, and our data centers alive. But here's the twist. You and I rely on cooling more than ever. Yet the systems that keep our world running silently are also heating the planet. And that's where today's revolution begins. Because in a warming world, demand for cooling is exploding. Countries from the US to China are adding more refrigeration, more air conditioning, and more cold chain storage every year. But conventional systems use enormous amounts of electricity and rely on refrigerant gases that trap heat thousands of times more powerfully than CO2. So, yes, cooling is essential, but old cooling technology has become a global climate liability. Now, here's the exciting part. A massive transformation is underway. When that turns cooling from a climate problem into a climate solution. Across the world, engineers, companies, and researchers are rethinking cooling from the ground up. Instead of simply making compressors a bit more efficient or swapping one gas for another, we're seeing breakthroughs that rewrite the entire playbook. It starts with natural refrigerants. These include carbon dioxide, ammonia, and simple hydrocarbons. They're almost climate neutral and, in many cases, far more efficient than traditional HFCs. If you've walked into a supermarket in Scandinavia, chances are the cooling system runs on CO2. And this shift is spreading fast to North America, Asia, and major global retail chains. What once seemed niche is now becoming mainstream. But refrigerants are only half the story. Another leap forward comes from variable speed compressors. Instead of switching on and off like old machines, these compressors adjust their output smoothly based on real demand. It's like replacing a car that drives full throttle or nothing with one that finally has a gas pedal. The result? Up to 30% energy savings and far longer equipment life. And then we get to something entirely different: thermal energy storage. Think of it like a cold battery. These systems make ice or chilled water at night when electricity is cheaper and the grid is under less stress. Then, during hot afternoons, buildings draw cooling from stored cold instead of towering energy-hungry machines. It's simple, elegant, and incredibly effective. But perhaps the most futuristic breakthrough is magnetic refrigeration. This technology uses special materials that heat up and cool down when exposed to a magnetic field. No gas, no compressor, no leaks. It's clean, quiet, and has the potential to deliver ultra-high efficiency with zero direct emissions. The pieces are still coming together, but the first commercial pilots are already proving what's possible. And these breakthroughs aren't confined to labs. They're already hitting the real world. In Australia, a new hybrid CO2 evaporative system cut energy use by 19% and peak demand by a staggering 37% in commercial tests. It uses dry climate conditions to make CO2 cooling even more efficient, turning extreme heat from an enemy into an advantage. In South Korea, engineers developed the country's first air-based refrigeration system, using nothing but air as the refrigerant. It relies on a reverse breach-in cycle, a process usually reserved for aerospace applications, and it cools down to minus 60 degrees Celsius without a single FG gas. That's a breakthrough for semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and sensitive materials that demand ultra-low temperatures. And everywhere, from North America to Europe to China, AI is reshaping cooling. Supermarkets now use predictive algorithms to prevent spoilage and reduce electricity bills. Pharmaceutical cold chains track every vial in real time, proving that temperatures stay stable. China's logistics hubs integrate big data platforms that automate the entire cold chain process, making food safer and energy systems smarter. This revolution touches every sector around us. Retail stores are replacing open fridge aisles with sealed vertical cases that cut energy waste in half. Data centers, which often spend 40% of their energy budget on cooling, are shifting to liquid cooling and advanced free air systems, pushing companies like Google and Microsoft toward near-perfect efficiency. Hospitals and research labs are retrofitting with variable speed chillers and cold batteries to increase resilience and reduce emissions. And China's massive cold chain expansion is leaning heavily on ammonia and CO₂ systems to meet strict energy and safety standards. And here's the real takeaway. These upgrades don't just help the planet, they save money. The International Energy Agency estimates that shifting to efficient, low-emission cooling could cut up to 5 gigatons of CO₂-equivalent emissions by mid-century. And most businesses recover their investment in as little as 2 to 5 years through lower energy bills, fewer breakdowns, and smoother operations. Even better, smarter cooling reduces stress on electricity grids during heat waves. It prevents blackouts. It reduces the need for expensive new power plants. So the benefits ripple far beyond any single building or company. But this revolution only succeeds if we push together. Businesses can start today by conducting energy audits, exploring retrofit incentives, and choosing natural refrigerant systems for new installations. Policymakers can accelerate progress with stronger standards, targeted subsidies, and expanded R&D support. And innovators, the engineers, the startups, and the scientists can keep pushing into the next frontier. Solid-state cooling, AI-driven optimization, and cooling systems that talk to the grid in real time. Cooling is no longer a quiet background technology. It's becoming one of the defining engineering challenges of the century. And if we get it right, we can cool our world without warming it, building a more resilient, efficient, and sustainable future for everyone.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe, follow, or visit idsth.com for more cutting-edge defense and tech insights. See you in the next one.